Okay. Um, it's basically how did you meet each other? So you can go.
This is for school?
Yep, that's for
Okay.
public speaking class.
Either one of us first?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, and then Mom can say it too. I
I'm
was
sure it's inaccurate.
I was working in Corning for the bank, headquartered in Rochester. I was working in Corning, and I got an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. Excuse me. And after a short time, I decided I'd offset my costs by getting a roommate, and ended up with Bill, who's now my brother-in-law, who was dating my wife's sister at the time. And so anyhow, long story short, Julie was working in Philadelphia at the time. She came up to visit, and they arranged a date, and that's how we met.
No.
How'd you meet then?
They did not arrange a date. It was purely coincidental.
Okay, well, go ahead for Christmas.
Yeah, you gotta say something then, Mom.
Are you going to take his version? Are you going to compare?
They're both.
Oh, man. They didn't arrange a date. They just, I was with Patty. Just going out for the evening, and you are weird.
I just happened to be there.
No. It had nothing to happen to be there. As a matter of fact, he was supposed to be introduced to Bill's sister.
Who was that?
To Debbie. And I just accidentally happened to be there that night.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I know of, but we'll go with it.
Mm-hmm.
So how long did you date? How many dates you go on before you got engaged?
Oh,
1 or 2.
no. It was probably over, what, a year's time? A little less than a year, maybe?
No. A year and 2 months, maybe.
When did you meet? What year was it?
1980, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
1980. I went down to the bank in the winter of 1979. I think it was.
So where'd you go after your next date? Where'd you go on your next date?
Actually, the first day we went down on Market Street in Corning to what you'd call a wine bar today, but it was just a little place that sat around and had a glass of wine, and
What?
wasn't it?
You are so full of it.
Or maybe it was when we went to the mall in Elmira.
That was
And
our first date?
what,
What was the question?
the first day.
After the first date.
What did you say? Oh, the first date wasn't a date, number 1.
Okay, well, what was the first date?
First date was just I just happened to be with Patty that night. They weren't trying to fix us up by any means. It was.
But Chris needs to know the first date.
But we had to go to. Patty was going to see Bill, and Bill was at the apartment. Your father just happened to be there. There was nothing else.
And so our first date was where?
And our first date, we went to Lum's at Arnott Mall.
Oh, okay, right.
Hmm.
We really were going to the movies. But your father didn't have any money with him.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. So we decided to stay at Lum's, and he wanted to write a check to the restaurant, but they wouldn't take it.
It was like Applebee's, Lum's is sort of Applebee's.
Well, without alcohol. It was just like a
Okay.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Kind of like
So that was the first
a
date.
diner type of place.
So Mom paid for the first date?
I paid her back, I'm sure.
No, he wanted to give me a check.
Just to square things off. Okay.
So where else did you go? Where next date? I thought you went to a Sixers game or something.
We did. We went
Oh,
to...
that wasn't for a while. That was not for a long time.
We saw Bob Lanier play against the 76ers.
Yeah. We went to Philadelphia with Patty. That was quite a long time after.
So maybe the next date was really not quite a formal date, but coming to Rochester, I used to come up every month, I guess, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
To do
Oh,
reviews.
more than that, yeah.
Maybe more
Every
than
week, every month.
every week or something. Your mom rode up with me at the time.
Okay.
So it wasn't a date.
There weren't too many things to do in Corning on dates.
How long did you live in Corning before you moved to Rochester?
Probably not more than a year. And then we moved
year?
to Sayre.
You're in Corning a year.
Oh, and then you moved to Sayre?
Mm-hmm.
Did you live together in Sayre, or did you
I lived in my parents' home, and I painted the house that one summer. And then Kevin came down to live with me, and then we got married.
No. No.
All right, hurry up. He hasn't got all day. Let's clarify
Oh
it.
my God.
What
Lived
happened
in
then?
Corning. And I lived in Anderson with my parents only for about, because they started Robert Packer pretty early, beginning of November. I lived with Patty in Waverly. You lived in Corning. You lived in Corning for a long time, at least till the summer.
Right.
Then during the summer, you moved to Waverly.
Okay.
And Kevin came to stay with you when
Well, I
he was
painted the
off.
house. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then he didn't come. It was like almost a full year.
Well, it's more like you and me. So we got married,
Mm-mm-mm.
and then lived together in Sayre
Then
with Kevin.
I lived with my sisters in Sayre for a year, and your father moved from Corning to Sayre. But Kevin didn't come to live with them until.
That's not what they need. Same complex. That we lived. Then we got married, and then how long before we? Let's see. Got married in February, and then we moved to Rochester that following December, January.
83?
83.
So we lived in Sayre for
About a year.
about a year.
So you got married in Corning, February 83, and then you moved up right after?
82. February of 82, and then we moved up here in December or January. December 82 or January 83, right around there.
We got married in February '82, and we moved up here in January '83.
Okay, so like a year later.
Yep.
All right. I think that should be it. And you know, my whole class will see all your neat room.
No, you're not doing that. Oh, you're.
Now, do you need any other information?
No,
You can sign off. You can say
Okay.
bye.
Well, goodbye. This is Chris's
I'm
dad,
not doing.
and this is his mother, who's
Can we
worked all
please-
night long.
Can we go downstairs and redo?